Good morning. Yes, as a matter of fact, it is very, very early this morning for me. So today I'm doing my video a little early because I am helping out a friend who needed somebody to watch her daughter while her and her husband were both busy and their babysitter canceled. So I'm on babysitting duty today. And because of that, I'm up extra early so that way I can get this video done and I can still watch her, and I don't want to worry about doing both at the same time. So today's topic is going to be kind of along those lines in regards to everyone needs friends. So this is something that I come across a lot on my Facebook feed. I am on it a lot, I'm not going to lie. Part of that reason is because I have friends that are all over the place. I've got friends that are in Florida, I've got a friend that's in the UK, or a couple of them that are in the UK. And I've got a friend who's in Germany who's on an amazing adventure, and actually she's not in Germany right now, so that's really exciting for her. She's on a study abroad program. But I use it to try to keep up with people who I've met through different things, whether it was work, whether it was school, and kind of keep up to see what they're doing and try to be that cheerleader from the sidelines at least every now and then when they have these big things in their lives. And my cat's she likes these little toys we got her. She's been going crazy. Anyway, so I try to keep up with my friends. More recently, I've started to kind of notice, partly because at my age, a lot of my friends are starting to divide up into little chunks. One of them is moms. So a few of my friends have started becoming moms. And it's a very exciting time, and I love all of the little kid pictures. But one post that's pretty common among all of them is how they feel like they don't really have a lot of friends anymore because they can't go out the way they used to because now they have a kid and they have to take care of them, which is understandable. You're taking care of another person, and going out drinking all night doesn't sound nearly as fun as watching them sleep. Just because apparently that's the thing that you do. I wouldn't know yet, but I probably would. No judgment. So it kind of got me thinking. So we all go through these seasons in our life. We've got, in our youth, in high school, we've talked about this before, how it's a lot easier to have friends with convenience, like we all have the same classes together, or we're all working in the same place. It's harder to have friendships that you have to work to maintain. So I have to see them regularly, to have to follow up, to keep up, to text and things like that. One of my friends who's actually moved to New Braunfels with her husband recently doesn't always text back, and it's not always her fault because where she lives, they currently don't have really good cell service. So she might not get the text for like another 20 minutes, and then she's busy, and then she forgets because it happens to me too, and I don't have good cell service. But so it's a little harder to keep up, but we still try to, and we still try to keep up with each other. I've got friends who are in the Valley who I try to keep up with regularly, like message them whenever I think something really funny happened or if I really want to share something with them. But it's not as easy to like meet up and go hang out or play board games or just spend quality time together. And so I kind of started to think about the season of life that I'm in now. So I'm not a new parent yet. And no, that doesn't mean I'm pregnant. It just means that I would like to have kids one day. But I am a newlywed, and I moved to San Antonio about 2 years ago, and I've been crazy busy. And it's something that I will probably talk about in another video. But I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and build quality friendships. And it's starting to wear on me a little bit because this is probably one of the harder periods in my life because I've already developed some really great friendships. Some people who, you know what they always say, like those people that you call up in the middle of the night that you can talk to or that will come over if you need them, and so on and so forth. So I have these friendships. However, these friendships are about 3.5, 4 hours away, depending which one I'm calling. So it's not as easy to come in the middle of the night because that's like about 4 hours later, and now it's 4 or 5 in the morning, and usually by that point the feeling has passed. So Marble, what are you doing? She's very distracting when she's scratching things and I can't hear. Or I can't figure out what she's doing, but I think she got a toy stuck under the bookshelf. Anyway, so I'm having to feel like I don't have any friends, but I know I have friends. I can't, like, play board games with them on the weekend, which I found out that they all have this game night once a week, and I'm a little mad because I'm too far away. But, so I'm developing new friendships, and in this phase of my life it's a little hard because part of me craves just that friendship that I've already had, and part of me is like just trying really hard to convince all of them to move over here and just, hey, it's not that bad, you know, we have a guest room, we can stay here, I'll babysit for free, like things like this that I'm just trying to bribe friends to come move over here. But I don't remember if I mentioned it, but a month ago, probably a few weeks, but anyway, no, about 2 months ago I set this up, and then a month ago it happened. So 2 months ago, I had this realization that I'd messaged a couple of people throughout this year who had moved to San Antonio fairly recently. One of them moved from El Paso, and one of them moved from Florida. One of them was because her fiance had gotten a job over here, and I think he was going to school over here, and they had a little girl together, and so they were moving over here. Another one was her husband's in the military. I'm blanking out. It's too early for me. Her husband's in the military, and if you don't know, San Antonio's a military city, USA, so he got stationed over here for at least, I want to say it's training, but I'm also not 100% sure. I'll have to ask. But, so they're over here right now. And I remember messaging them both, kind of along the lines of, if you need anything, let me know. And then I started to think about how many times people told me that, because I do know other people who live in San Antonio, people who came here for school, people who just moved up here for job opportunities, people who just managed to make their way here, who I went to school with. And I vaguely remember these messages like, hey, we should hang out while we're here, or hey, I'm moving to San Antonio, who's over here? And we all kind of made these vague promises of that we'd see each other sometime. Now, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just as guilty. But we don't always make that extra effort to follow through with this. And part of it is because we forget and we're busy. And back to that whole, I've been really busy. We kind of get caught up in what's happening in our lives that we forget to reach out and follow up with these things and be like, hey, is the offer still on the table? Like, when can we hang out? So I decided I didn't want it to happen this time, especially with 2 new people who'd moved here and it hadn't quite been a year yet. So I reached out to all of them and I started like a little group chat because we all kind of knew each other because we'd all worked together while we were in Florida on an internship. Well, I was on an internship. And so they all kind of said, yeah, this is a great idea. We all vaguely know each other because we did work together. We just don't maybe know each other very well, especially since it's been a few years. And so we're all starting to reach out. So last month, we had our first dinner. And it was supposed to be like a weekday thing, and then it was a weekend thing, and then it was a lunch thing, and then it was a dinner thing. And so we got moved around a little bit. So we're slowly starting to figure out how this is going to work. And we're planning this month's. So we find a day, and now we have to find a time, and it's probably going to be a dinner again. But we're all trying to build this friendship. And I'm a little distracted again because another cat decided to just lay on my lap. I'm pretty sure it's because she's a little fatty and she wants her dinner, or her breakfast. But it is still 7-something, and they don't get fed till 9 o'clock, so sorry, babe. You have at least another hour and probably change. Anyway, so we all got together and we finally did that, and it's been good to just know that we're trying to build this friendship and this relationship with each other. And as I mentioned, one of them has a kid. And this is what's bringing me to today. So I'm watching her daughter today. And I'm starting to wonder why parents feel this way, that they don't have these friends in that season of their life. So like I mentioned, my season, it's really hard because I have friends, but they're not here, and so it's trying to figure out how to make friends here. Like the ones that can help you change a tire, or the ones that can help you babysit when you need it. And so we need to be better to our friends, is the point that I'm trying to get to, while being distracted by a bunch of cutie cats all over the place. We need to be better to our friends. We need to figure out maybe why they're not coming anymore. Maybe it's because they got busy, they had kids, they got married, and they want to bring their significant other. I'm guilty of that. Whenever I am going out places because I'm meeting somebody up, or there's an event going on, or somebody invited me somewhere, one of my questions is always, do you mind if my husband comes? Do you mind if my husband comes? And it's because I like involving him in things. I didn't marry him because I didn't like him. I married him because I like spending time with him, and I think he's really cool. And don't let it get to your head if you're watching this. But I like spending time with him, so I'm always trying to involve him. And if I go somewhere without him, either because he's just not feeling it, or it's a girl's thing, I have a tendency to kind of, oh well, and then not staying for very long, or staying for shorter periods of time, or trying to rush home, like rush through it to get home. And yes, I know it's not great. I need to go and meet people without him, but that's just kind of part of the phase of life that I'm on. I kind of want to involve him in anything. And it's similar but not the same. It's more so for parents. You have this new little person that you made and that you're raising, and they're pretty cool to just watch and interact with and teach them all of these things that they don't know, and that's your job. That's this little person that you're in charge of, but also that you love. You want to spend time with them, and when you go out, you're gonna take them with you, not just because you want to spend time with them, but because you're in charge of making sure they're okay and taking care of them. And childcare is really expensive, and all of these things, so it's not as easy to just go out without them. Either you have to go out without your partner because they're the ones that are taking care of the baby tonight, or if you do go with your partner, you have to get a babysitter and that costs money, or you have to figure out if you can just take them, which is usually the easiest part. And I can understand if you want to go to the movies with your friends, or if you want to go to like a fancy dinner place. It's not the most glamorous thing to have a baby that is not happy or not doing well. So I can understand if that's more of a like, we'd prefer if the baby didn't come for these things, but we have to do better about planning to include them. If your friend just had a newborn and she really wants to hang out with her friends, and you can see my cat's tail in the background, and she really wants to hang out with your friends, plan something that she can attend. Or if she can't leave home but she really misses her friends, go visit her. Part of the game night that my friends are having is one of them has a little girl, and she's always with her, and she loves to spend time with her. And so it's hard to just go places without her. So they're all going to her house and playing board games with them, and including everyone, including her husband. And it's not that hard, and they all have fun. And I think, I'm saying I think, because I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure they all spent the night there the other day, because they all went to hang out and had a good time. I'm in the loop still because my sister is one of the ones that goes to these things, because we're all friends with the same people. And so I get the updates every now and then. But that's not really hard thing to do, is to say, okay, well, maybe we can't go do XYZ while they're really little. And as they get older, maybe you can. And now you have a little kid to take with you and say, yeah, no, all 7 of us are here to escort this one child to see The Lion King. And now you don't look as creepy, because apparently that's creepy. And I'm not going to lie, I am very guilty of that, because I kind of want to see it anyway. Point is, we have to take better care of the friends that we have in all stages of their life. I would appreciate it so much if people extended the invitation to my husband too. And whether or not he comes is his own stubborn fault, because he's not a people person. But it feels nice to have somebody else acknowledge, like, hey, I know you just got married and you're probably really excited about it and you want to spend all your time with him, but I would really like to hang out with you, so bring them along. And that small consideration can help make a friendship grow quicker, because now they're a little more comfortable, they have their person with them, and they don't feel as anxious to get back. They can relax, they can enjoy their time more. Same thing with parents, they don't feel the need like, okay, well now I have to either have to go without my husband, or I have to, find a babysitter or do something, or I can't go. Bring them with you. If that's what you need, bring them with you. And all of these things will help grow friendships so much, because it surprises me still whenever I invite people. They're like, I can't go because I have my kid with me, or I can't go because, my husband and I were supposed to spend time together. Bring them. And they just get so surprised, and they're like, wait, really? Are you sure it's okay? And they feel like they're inconveniencing me by inviting more people. And it's like, no, I want to spend time with you, and if this is what your life looks like right now, bring your life. You don't have to pretend like we're all still, oh man, how old was I when I was just I think I was 21 when I was in my internship. We're not all still 21, like running around with no responsibilities. I have a husband now too. I have my cats that I can't just stay out all night. I have to come home and feed them at 9 o'clock and 9 in the morning, because if not, they don't leave me alone. You can see Grouchy Blue over there. She's mad because she's on a diet, because we noticed she was getting pudgy. Anyway, point, and I keep saying it, and I know I'm repeating myself, but the point is, take care of your friends wherever they are in their lives, whether they're just getting married and they're just like attached to the hip to their partner, or if they just had a kid and they just don't want to leave them yet. Work with them. Figure out what's going to help, because that friendship is going to be really important to both of you. And if they're at that point where they're feeling like, well, all my friends have kind of abandoned me because I moved on to this new phase in my life, and they're not ready for that, they're going to need some really good friends to stick out and say, okay, we might not be in the same phase, but we can still hang out. We can still be friends. And that can make the difference for some people, especially those that are having trouble with things like depression, with anxiety, and all of these other mental illnesses that make them feel like they're alone. All it takes is one person to say, you're not alone. Thanks for listening.